What if you didn't have to give up the sweet things in life just because of diabetes? What if the very fruits you've been told to stay away from, those juicy, colorful, smile-inducing favorites, were actually on your side? I know, it sounds backwards, doesn't it? All your life, you've heard it. Watch your sugar. Stay away from sweets, fruits. Too much sugar for someone your age. And so, maybe, over time, you stopped reaching for the grapes. You gave up on that slice of ripe mango in summer. You looked at apples with suspicion, even though they used to be your go-to snack. And slowly, quietly, you started to feel like eating healthy meant eating dull, like joy had to be sacrificed in the name of safety. But here's the truth. No one told you. Some of the sweetest, most common fruits in your kitchen aren't just safe for people living with diabetes. They can actually help fight it. Yes, fight it. They can help regulate your blood sugar, support your heart, nourish your body, and do it all while letting you feel like you're living, not just surviving, because you shouldn't have to choose between health and happiness. Not now, not ever. As we get older, food choices become more complicated. You're told to cut this, avoid that, reduce this, give up that. It's confusing. It's exhausting. And honestly, it's unfair. But today we're bringing the clarity you've been craving. In this video, we're uncovering 5 delicious fruits, sweet, juicy, everyday favorites, that don't spike your sugar. In fact, they help balance it. And we're saving one final fruit for the end, one that looks healthy, but might be doing more harm than good. You'll want to stick around for that. So if you've ever felt frustrated about what's allowed on your plate, if you've been avoiding sweetness, thinking it's dangerous, if you miss the joy of eating without guilt, then this video is for you. Comment sweet wisdom down below if you believe that healthy eating should still bring you joy in your golden years. And if you're new here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. This is Elderly Wisdom Log, your trusted companion for senior health, care, and lifelong wellness. Let's set the record straight. Let's bring sweetness back to your plate, with wisdom, not fear. Now let's begin. 1. Strawberries. Picture this. You're sitting on your porch, the sun is gentle, and you've got a small bowl of ripe red strawberries in your hand. They're sweet, juicy, and they take you back, maybe to childhood summers, maybe to moments with your grandkids, or maybe just to a time when eating felt simple. You savor that first bite, and for a moment, it feels like you're treating yourself. But what if I told you, it's not just a treat, it's medicine in disguise? Strawberries are one of the rare sweet fruits that your body actually thanks you for. They're naturally low on the glycemic index, which means they don't spike your blood sugar like processed snacks do. Instead, they release their sugars slowly, gently, in a way your body can handle with ease. And here's something even more powerful. These little red berries are loaded with something called polyphenols, compounds that help lower inflammation and improve insulin sensitivity. Translation: they make it easier for your body to manage sugar, not harder. Yet, despite all of this, many seniors avoid strawberries completely. Why? Because they taste sweet, and we've been taught to fear sweetness. But let me be clear, natural sugar from whole fruits paired with fiber is not the same as added sugar in a cookie or soft drink. Your body knows the difference. Still, I get it. After years of warnings, it's hard to know what's safe anymore. Here's a simple way to enjoy strawberries without worry. Try pairing them with a bit of plain Greek yogurt or a handful of raw almonds. The healthy fat and protein help slow down how the sugar is absorbed into your bloodstream, giving you a steady boost of energy without the crash. And if you've got a sweet tooth, strawberries are one of the best ways to honor it without guilt. No artificial sweeteners, no regrets. So the next time someone tells you strawberries are too sugary, smile, and remember, they're not just delicious, they're diabetes-friendly. Now, you might be wondering, what about grapes? Aren't they packed with sugar too? Let's talk about that next. And what I'm about to share just might surprise you. 2. Grapes. Now picture this. Dinner's over, the table is cleared, and you're relaxing in your favorite chair. You reach for a small bunch of grapes, red, glistening, sweet. They're cool, refreshing, and just the right touch of dessert. But then, that little voice in your head whispers, "Too much sugar, put them down." Sound familiar? If you've ever hesitated before eating a grape because of your blood sugar, you're not alone. Grapes have earned a bad reputation in diabetes circles, and yet this sweet little fruit might just be one of the most misunderstood foods for seniors with diabetes. Let me share something you might not have heard from your doctor. Red grapes are packed with a compound called resveratrol. This isn't just a fancy word. It's a natural antioxidant that's been shown to support insulin sensitivity. In simple terms, resveratrol helps your body use glucose more efficiently, and that means less sugar lingering in your bloodstream. It's like giving your body a little boost in how it handles sugar, not just today, but over time. Studies have found that resveratrol may even reduce insulin resistance, which is one of the biggest hurdles in managing type 2 diabetes. That's huge. But here's where most people get it wrong. They hear grapes and think sugar bomb. They picture handfuls being tossed into the mouth like popcorn, without a second thought. And yes, too much of anything, even something healthy, can be a problem. But that doesn't mean the fruit itself is bad. It just means we need to enjoy it with mindfulness. Here's a simple trick you can use. Stick to around 10 to 15 grapes per serving. That's enough to satisfy your sweet tooth, and still stay within a healthy range. Want to go one step further? Pair those grapes with a slice of cheese. Yes, cheese. Why? Because the fat and protein in cheese help slow the absorption of sugar from the grapes. It turns a simple snack into a balanced blood sugar-friendly treat. This is what food should be in your golden years. Simple, delicious, and balanced. Not fear-driven, not restrictive, just wise. So next time you see grapes in the fridge, don't avoid them. Just eat them with awareness. You don't have to give up nature's sweetness. You just need to understand it. And speaking of sweet fruits people misunderstand, let's talk about one of the most beloved and most unfairly judged fruits in the world. Yes, I'm talking about apples. An apple a day keeps the doctor away. You've heard that one 100 times, right? But let's pause and really think about it. Can something as simple and as sweet as an apple actually help in the fight against diabetes? The answer is a gentle but powerful yes. Now imagine this. You're sitting at the kitchen table with your morning tea, and you've got a crisp apple in your hand. The skin is shiny, the flesh is firm, and there's something comforting about its simplicity. It feels like a fruit that's always been there, reliable, familiar, wholesome. But behind that simple bite is something extraordinary. You see, apples are rich in soluble fiber, especially a kind called pectin. This fiber slows down how quickly sugar enters your bloodstream after a meal. Think of it like a speed bump for glucose, keeping your blood sugar levels steady instead of spiking up and crashing down. And here's the part most folks miss. The magic is in the peel. That smooth, colorful skin most of us peel off without a second thought. That's where a lot of the fiber, antioxidants, and blood sugar-friendly nutrients are hiding. But I get it. Many seniors peel their apples thinking it'll be easier to chew,
or better on the stomach.
It feels like a kind gesture to ourselves. The truth? We're actually tossing away one of the best parts for managing blood sugar naturally. So here's a better way. Instead of peeling the whole thing, try slicing the apple thinly with the skin on. Not only is it easier to chew, but you keep all the good stuff where it belongs in your body. And here's a little secret tip for bonus benefits. Sprinkle a bit of cinnamon on your apple slices. Not only does cinnamon taste warm and comforting, it's also been shown to help lower blood sugar levels. That simple combo, apple slices with cinnamon, becomes a smart snack that feels like a treat. It's sweet, natural, and easy on your body. So next time you think about grabbing a packaged snack, reach for an apple instead. Just don't toss the skin. It's not a flaw, it's your ally. Before we move on to the next fruit, can I ask you a quick favor? If this video has helped you rethink how you view fruit and diabetes, even just a little, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. And if you're finding this kind of information useful in your everyday life, consider subscribing to Elderly Wisdom Log. This is your space for honest, practical health advice in your golden years. And when you click that subscribe button, you're not just staying informed, you're joining a community that supports one another. Alright, now, what about mangoes? The tropical fruit most people think is off limits.
Let's break that myth wide open. Because coming up is one fruit that surprises almost everyone. It's juicy, it's bold,
And for many, it feels like a forbidden fruit for diabetics. I'm talking about mangoes. And trust me, you're going to want to hear this. Now let me ask you something. What's the one fruit that instantly feels like summer in your mouth? Juicy, fragrant, sweet beyond reason. You guessed it, mango. But if you've ever been told you have high blood sugar or diabetes, chances are someone has warned you to stay far away from mangoes. And I get it. They're sweet, really sweet. So the assumption is, no way, not safe. But what if I told you that mangoes aren't the villain we've made them out to be? In fact, under the right conditions, mangoes can actually support your blood sugar, not wreck it. Here's the truth. Mangoes are more than sugar and sunshine. They contain a powerful compound called mangoferin, a natural antioxidant that's been studied for its ability to reduce inflammation and improve how your body handles glucose. Let me say that again. Mangoes don't just taste good. They might help your body use sugar better. Now this doesn't mean you should go slicing up a giant mango and eat it all in one sitting. Moderation matters, especially when it comes to blood sugar. It's not about banning mangoes, it's about understanding how and when to eat them. Here's what works. Try enjoying half a cup of fresh mango earlier in the day, like mid-morning or with lunch. And don't eat it alone. Pair it with something rich in protein, like a handful of almonds, a boiled egg, or a piece of cheese. Why? Because protein helps slow the absorption of natural sugar, giving your body more time to process it gently, without those sharp blood sugar spikes. See, it's not the mango that's dangerous. It's eating it in isolation or in large portions without balance. So instead of cutting mangoes out of your life completely, make them part of a smart, senior-friendly plan. You deserve to enjoy the taste of life even with diabetes. And that little mango, it might just surprise you with its health benefits when handled with care. Now let's move to a fruit that often gets overlooked. It's zesty, bright, and packed with nutrients. And when it comes to diabetes and immunity, it might be one of your best-kept secrets. Let's talk about citrus. Oranges. You might have been offered a glass of orange juice at breakfast and thought, maybe not the best for my sugar. And you're right. Juice? Not ideal. But the whole orange? That's a different story altogether. Let me paint a picture. You're sitting by the window. Sunlight's warming your lap. You peel a fresh orange. Slowly, the citrus oils rise into the air. You take a bite. It's sweet, tart, juicy, and yes, smart. Because whole oranges come packed not just with flavor but function. They're loaded with vitamin C, a classic immunity booster. But that's not all. Oranges are rich in flavonoids, especially one called hesperdiol, and studies show it may improve insulin sensitivity. That means your body becomes better at using the sugar it takes in, rather than letting it build up in the bloodstream. And here's the key difference. Fiber. When you eat the whole fruit, you're getting a healthy dose of fiber, especially in the white pith under the peel. That fiber slows down how quickly sugar enters your system. So instead of a quick spike, your body absorbs it gently and steadily. But what happens when you drink juice? You strip the fiber, and what's left behind is mostly liquid sugar. It might taste fresh, but it acts more like a sugary soda when it comes to blood sugar. So here's the smarter move. Choose a whole orange over orange juice. Enjoy it as a mid-morning or mid-afternoon snack, when your body's still active and your metabolism's humming along. Don't be afraid of oranges. Be afraid of concentrated sugar without fiber. And that leads us perfectly into something important we need to talk about before you start filling up your basket with fruit. Now here's the tricky part. Some fruits seem innocent, even healthy. But when they're processed or altered, they become silent sugar bombs. Let's talk about dried fruits, raisins, dates, banana chips, even dried cranberries. They all sound like better choices than candy, right? But here's the catch. When fruit is dried, it loses its water, but keeps all of its sugar. And because it shrinks, it's way too easy to eat too much. Think about it. You could eat 5 grapes and feel satisfied. But 5 raisins, that's just a nibble. It's deceptive. And especially for seniors managing diabetes or pre-diabetes, dried fruit can cause rapid, unexpected spikes in blood sugar. Even worse, some store-bought dried fruits have added sugar on top of their natural sugars. That's like pouring syrup on top of honey. Now, I'm not saying never touch a raisin again, but if you're trying to control your blood sugar, dried fruits should be rare, not root. So what's the safer bet? Stick with fresh, whole fruits, the ones with water, fiber, and a little bulk. A good rule of thumb: if it fits in the palm of your hand and came from nature, not a packet, it's probably a smart portion. When you focus on real, fresh, unprocessed fruit, you're not just managing diabetes, you're nourishing your body with the goodness it truly understands. And now that you know which fruits help and which ones to watch, let's talk about what all this really means for you and your health journey. You know, it's not easy, is it? Living with diabetes, especially in our later years, can feel like walking through a maze with no map. Every trip to the kitchen feels like a quiz. Every meal, a decision that weighs heavy. And the hardest part, being told to give up the things that used to bring you joy. That slice of mango on a summer day, a handful of grapes during a good movie, or that juicy apple you used to pick from your garden. It's like someone's rewriting the rules of comfort, and you didn't ask for any of it. But here's the truth: you don't have to give up sweetness, you just have to relearn where the smart sweetness lives. This isn't about restriction, it's about redirection. And knowledge? That's your superpower now. With every new fact you learn, like which fruits can actually support your blood sugar, you take back a little more control. You reclaim a bit more joy. So here's what I encourage you to do. Start small. Pick just one of these fruits, maybe strawberries, maybe a whole orange. Try adding it to your breakfast or snack. Notice how you feel afterward, and when you realize that you can enjoy something naturally sweet, without harming your health, celebrate, because every good choice you make, no matter how small, is a step toward balance, a step toward freedom, a step toward living well, not just living carefully. Diabetes isn't the end of joy. It's a reminder to become more mindful, more informed, and more in tune with your own body. Sweetness, balance, and life, they still go hand in hand. And you, my friend, you deserve every bite of that goodness. Let's quickly recap what we learned today. There are 5 fruits that don't just taste sweet, they actually help fight back against diabetes. Strawberries, low glycemic, packed with polyphenols. Grapes, rich in resveratrol for better insulin response. Apples, full of fiber and antioxidants, especially in the peel. Mangoes, in moderation, they support glucose metabolism thanks to mangifrin. Oranges, whole fruits only, with fiber and hesperidin to improve insulin sensitivity. But we also learned what to be cautious with. Dried fruits like raisins, banana chips, and sweetened dates. They might look healthy, but they're sugar bombs in disguise. Now I'd love to hear from you. Which of these fruits surprised you the most? Is there one you've personally had success with when it comes to managing your blood sugar? Drop a comment below. Share your story. You never know, your experience might just encourage someone else. And if this video brought you value, if it helped clear the fog a little, please give it a like and consider subscribing to Elderly Wisdom Log. This channel is your space, where we talk about health, healing, and the small choices that lead to big change in your golden years. Thank you truly for spending this time with me. Stay wise, stay well, and remember, your health is your legacy. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.